With a $2.6 billion net worth, Michael Jordan is a former American basketball player, team owner, product endorser, and businessman. It's possible that Michael Jordan remains the most well-liked basketball player in the world. All other rising stars are measured by and in relation to Michael Jordan, the player. Every season, a new player is crowned or burdened with the title of Next Michael Jordan, as the media is constantly looking for someone to replace him. Michael Jordan, the all-time great basketball player, is still living the life of luxury in his semi-retirement, multiple endorsement deals, and development deals. Jordan won 6 NBA championships while playing for the Chicago Bulls. He's been the league MVP 5 times. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame on September 11, 2009, and he currently holds the record for the highest career scoring average in history. As you are undoubtedly aware, Michael's NBA salary did not make him a billionaire. Michael received a total salary of $93.7 million during his NBA career. In contrast, LeBron James will have made over $500 million in NBA salary by the time he retires. Although Michael Jordan received a high salary for the NBA at the time, he was not awarded the massive contracts that were awarded in the decades that followed his retirement. Michael was the first athlete in history to receive a salary of more than $30 million annually. He made $30.14 million in base salary during the 1996 to 1997 season when he achieved that feat. He made $33.14 million the next season. That equates to $53.4 million today after accounting for inflation. Michael has continuously ranked among the highest-paid celebrity endorsers both during his career and in the years following his retirement. He has received $1.4 billion in endorsement deals to date. And despite not having played professional basketball for almost 20 years, Michael still makes $100 million a year from endorsement deals and other business endeavors. Note that this is more money in 1 year than he made in 16 NBA seasons from his salary. Michael's annual income from Nike/Jordan brand royalties alone is at least $60 million. Michael truly became a billionaire despite endorsements and pay because of his ownership of the NBA team Charlotte Hornets. For $175 million, he acquired the bulk of the team's shares in 2010. In June 2014, Michael became the first person to be recognized as a billionaire after it was revealed that he had raised his ownership of the team, then called the Bobcats, to 89%. 2019 saw him sell a minority stake to an investment group for $1.5 billion, valuing the team at that amount. He sold the bulk of his ownership in the franchise in 2023. Later in this post, we will go into more detail about this investment. Over 9,000 shots have been missed by me in my career. I've dropped nearly 300 games. I've been trusted to attempt the game-winning shot 26 times, but I've missed. I've experienced repeated failures throughout my life. That's the reason I'm successful. Basketball star Michael Jordan. When and how Michael Jordan reached the billionaire status. After taxes, marital dissolution agreements, and other living expenses, Michael's net worth was estimated to be about $450 million in 2006. He acquired a small ownership in the NBA team Charlotte Bobcats in the same year. After BET founder Robert L. Johnson, he was the team's second-largest individual owner at the time. 2010 saw Michael spend $175 million to acquire Robert's ownership of the team. Michael gained ownership of 80% of the team with this deal. It was discovered in June 2014 that Michael had raised his ownership position once more, from 80% to 89.5%. With $135 million in debt, the recently renamed Hornets were valued at $500 million at the time. The Clippers, who were recently valued at $500 million, sold for $2 billion at this same time. If the Hornets were truly worth $600 million at this point, Michael Jordan's debt-free stake was worth $416 million. When added to his outside fortune of $600 million, this made Michael Jordan a billionaire for the first time with a net worth of $1.016 billion. At a $1.5 billion valuation in 2019, Michael sold a small portion of his stake to hedge fund managers Gabe Plotkin and Daniel Suntime. Michael allegedly wanted to sell his 80% ownership in the Hornets in March 2023, possibly for a $2 billion price tag. News of Jordan's successful $3 billion sale of the Charlotte Hornets was first reported in June 2023. His 13-year tenure as the franchise's major owner came to an end with the sale. The buyers of the deal are Gabe Plotkin and Rick Schnall, and Jordan is anticipated to maintain a small ownership and role with the team. Michael Jordan had a $2.2 billion net worth before the sale. That figure was predicated on the Hornets being valued at $1.5 billion, which Plotkin paid in 2019. Michael made about $1 billion more money after purchasing an 80% stake for $1.5 billion. Michael Jordan, whose net worth is $500 million, was added to celebrity net worth for the first time in September 2009. In 2014, 6 years later, he achieved his first billionaire status. Early in 2020, he crossed the $2 billion mark. Childhood. On February 17, 1963, Michael Jeffrey Jordan was born in Brooklyn, New York. His father, James R. Jordan Sr., was an equipment supervisor, and his mother, Dolores, was employed in finance. The family relocated to Wilmington, North Carolina, while Michael was still a toddler. Michael was a football, baseball, and basketball player at Wilmington's Emsley A. Laney High School. Famously, when he was a sophomore, he tried out for the varsity basketball team but was turned down because he was only 5'11". Andrew was furious about being rejected and gave his all to succeed on the junior varsity team. He gained that much-needed spot on the varsity squad after growing 4 inches during the summer between his sophomore and junior years. During his junior and senior years, Michael averaged 25 points per game, setting the varsity team on fire. He was chosen to participate in the 1981 McDonald's All-American game as a senior, and he scored 30 points. Career in college. It came as no surprise that numerous college programs, such as Syracuse, UVA, Duke, and the University of North Carolina, recruited the now 6'6" Michael. In the end, he decided to enroll at UNC. He was the ACC Freshman of the Year at UNC, where he averaged 13.5 points per game and helped the team defeat the Georgetown Hoyas in the 1982 NCAA Championship. Michael made a game-winning basket over Georgetown center Patrick Ewing with 15 seconds remaining. It would turn out that this was the shot that won the game. In retrospect, Michael would say that this particular game, as well as the shot itself, marked a significant turning point in his self-assurance and future basketball career. NBA career. During his 3 seasons with the UNC Tar Heels, Michael received numerous honors, including the 1984 Wooden and Naismith College Player of the Year titles. In order to enter the 1984 draft, he left UNC 1 year early. Remarkably, Michael went back to UNC in 1986 to complete his coursework and earn a bachelor's degree in geography. Surprisingly, he wasn't selected first. After Sam Bowie, number 2, and Hakeem Olajuwon, he was the 3rd pick. The Chicago Bulls selected Michael with the 3rd overall pick. On September 12, 1984, Michael agreed to a rookie contract with the Bulls. The 6-year contract had a total value of $6 million, or about $850,000 per season on average. The team only managed to sell out 6 games in total the year before Michael signed with the Bulls. In Michael's first year, the number of attendees doubled. Michael and Chicago reached an agreement on an 8-year, $25 million contract extension at the conclusion of his 5th season. Up until then, it was the biggest deal in NBA history. The consequence was a jump in Michael's pay to about $5 million annually. In 1996, when this contract expired, Michael signed a $30 million, 1-year contract. He inked a $33.14 million 1-year contract the following year. After accounting for inflation, the latter is currently valued at approximately $55 million. After retiring, Michael made 2 comebacks to the NBA. He once left baseball to play in the minor leagues. He spent 2 seasons as a player for the Washington Wizards after making his 2nd NBA comeback. As we previously stated, Michael's total salary during his NBA career was $93.7 million. His salary was $161 million, prorated for inflation each year. A breakdown of Michael's NBA salary history by year is provided below. Nike agreement and annual royalties. James Worthy's $150,000 yearly contract with New Balance was the biggest celebrity shoe endorsement deal in the world prior to Michael Jordan. Jordan broke all previous endorsement records in 1984 when Nike agreed to give him a 5-year contract worth of $500,000 annually. Jordan was compensated $7 million over a 5-year period in addition to receiving Nike stock options. Michael had never worn a pair of Nike shoes before accepting the contract. Instead, he had hoped to sign with Adidas. But Nike's offer was too good to refuse and too high for compliance with NBA uniformity rules when he made his debut. Nike utilized the controversy to generate buzz about the brand and paid all of the league's fines. In just 2 months after the Air Jordan shoes debuted in stores in March 1985, more than 1 million pairs had been sold. Nike made $100 million from Air Jordan sales in its first year of release. Air Jordans now account for 58% of all basketball shoe sales, and Nike makes over $2.5 billion from the brand each year. Michael received 25 cents for each pair of Jordan sneakers sold in 1992. He gets $4 for each shoe sold these days. Nike paid Michael $480 million in shoe royalties between 2002 and 2012. Michael Jordan now receives an annual check from Nike for between $80 and $100 million in royalties. Nonetheless, his royalty check has exceeded $120 million in a few of those years. Endorsements. Michael Jordan has served as a spokesperson for numerous corporate brands over the course of his illustrious career, including Rayovac, Hanes, MCI, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, Nike, Gatorade, and Wheaties. Jordan also has agreements with 5-Star Fragrances, 2K Sports, and Upper Deck. He owns 7 restaurants in addition to a car dealership. Following Nike, one of Michael Jordan's most significant early endorsement agreements, and one that would serve as a lifelong pillar, was with Gatorade. Michael inked a 10-year, $18 million endorsement deal with Gatorade at the conclusion of the 1989 campaign. The iconic Be Like Mike commercial for Gatorade debuted following the Bulls' first of 6 championship victories. The Michael/Gatorade collaboration helped both the company and the celebrity reach even higher levels of recognition. According to a 2015 lawsuit Michael signed against a grocery chain that was accused of using his image without permission, the superstar only signs contracts if he anticipates making at least $10 million from the relationship. Additionally, we discovered that Michael once declined an offer of $80 million to support a line of headphones on the grounds that presumably he dislikes donning them. As of this writing, Michael Jordan's career earnings, before taxes, from corporate partners total $1.4 billion. Settlement of Jonetta Jordan's divorce. In September 1989, Michael tied the knot with Jonetta Vanoy. Together, they were parents to 3 kids. After 13 years of marriage, Michael Jordan filed for divorce from Jonetta Jordan in 2002. He was eventually ordered to give her a $168 million divorce settlement. It was one of the priciest divorces ever recorded. Cash, stocks, and the total value of their holdings in real estate were all included in the settlement. Since April 2013, Michael has been wed to Yvette Prieto, a model who is Cuban-American. In February 2014, she gave birth to their identical twin daughters. When Jasmine, Jordan's daughter, gave birth to a son in 2019, Jordan became a grandfather. Property. These days, Michael resides primarily in a sumptuous mansion in Jupiter, Florida. Situated on 3 acres, the 26,000-square-foot, 11-bedroom residence is part of the ultra-exclusive Bears Club community designed by Jack Nicklaus. After paying $4.8 million for the lot in 2011, he built his dream house over the course of 2 years, spending $7.6 million. Michael paid $2.8 million in March 2013 for a large compound situated on a lake in Charlotte, North Carolina. The 12,310-square-foot lake house, owned by Michael Jordan, has 6 bedrooms and 8 bathrooms. Situated directly on the water, the property spans almost 50,000 square feet. Vaulted ceilings, marble and hardwood floors, several fireplaces, an elevator, and jacuzzi tubs in select bathrooms are among the interior features. Floor-to-ceiling windows afford breathtaking views of the neighboring lake from almost every room in the house. There is a swimming pool and a pier leading to a lakeside gazebo outside. In addition, Michael owns a property in Salt Lake City, Utah, and an opulent condo in the city, which allows him to be very close to his Hornet. Chicago Mansion. Michael is still the owner of a sizable mansion in Highland Park, back in Chicago. He lived in the mansion for a large portion of his record-breaking Chicago Bulls seasons. In 1991, Michael bought a lot in Highland Park and promptly began construction on his ideal house. The finished product is a 7-acre property with 32,683 square feet just in the main house. In addition to an NBA-caliber basketball court, a pool pavilion, a 15-car garage, a card room, tennis courts, a PGA-caliber putting green, a cigar room, a wine cellar, and much more, this house boasts 9 bedrooms and 15 bathrooms.